I'm just gonna get right into it. I'm just gonna put Diego on blast here.
Oh,
Tottenham, Diego. Tottenham.
oh,
Antonio Conte out. Good decision, bad decision. And
oh,
who are you replacing him with?
oh, man. You don't understand the conversation that's been had between Tottenham fans over the past. I don't know.
Well,
When was
that's
when
why
was
I'm
the
asking
game?
you. That's why I'm
Yeah,
asking you.
yeah. No, it's been crazy. You've had so many. Because the thing is that rant was
Mm,
so controversial because on the one
spot
hand,
on. Oh,
no, hold on. On the one hand, it is spot on. On the other hand, the way he went about doing it and that he's choosing to do it at the end of his reign rather than where he felt like he could actually make a difference is very counterproductive to what we're trying to do here. Like, sure, you can call out the players, you can call out the club, but the fact that you're doing it now when you know your time
mm,
is up, rather than when you should be doing it to actually try to improve everything, is not helping anyone. It's not helping your case either.
it's
So
just kicking Tottenham when they're down.
exactly, like if he had done like obviously he would have been this aggressive, but if he had at least said, "Hey, some of the players here have this problem and this," when we were in the in the beginning, I don't think anyone would have disagreed there. I think everybody would have been on his side. But when you go that hard, that like intense at a point where you have nothing to lose, people
Mm,
lose a bit of respect in that regards because you have nothing to lose and there's nothing backing your claims there. Now, with that being said,
true.
he was speaking facts, 100%. He was speaking facts. I don't think
Yeah.
anyone there is against what he said. It's just the way he went about it that was
Yeah.
not great.
That's fair.
Um, as for Conte in or out, I mean, I said this last time we talked about Tottenham. I said he's out. Um, I think he is not. He does not have the patience for how slow we are building this project, um, and we need someone who's willing to have a bit more patience. And Conte is not that guy. Um, we're probably gonna have Ryan Mason be interim manager like he did when
Yes.
we lost Mourinho. Mason
Yes.
Ball gets in. No, actually, genuinely, I'm actually happy about that. I think Ryan Mason is a passionate guy who
Deserves
has
the
a bright
chance.
future. Yeah, deserves a chance,
You,
and I think it'll be good. Now, the actual long term replacement, that's a whole
there's a
other
lot.
question. That's a
See,
whole other question.
I'm kind of curious as to. I wonder what Tottenham told Conte, because I think
Yeah,
when he gets appointed, because if they tell him there's going to be a 2, 3, 4 year long process, we want you to stick around, he wouldn't. They had to have told him we want to be on top within a year,
yeah,
year and a half, and then he
yeah.
didn't say anything made like any actions toward those promises, and he's out now. I don't know.
I completely agree. I think Levy sold him some dreams. Maybe ideally Levy would have liked to have been in that spot too. Maybe he
Mm,
didn't fully lie. Maybe he was like, yeah, I wanna be
yeah,
challenging at
this
that
is the
point.
goal.
But nonetheless, and in all honesty, it's not like we had not backed him. We backed him quite a bit.
It's true.
But we need a bit more time, and Conte is not here for that, and that's that's fine. To be honest, though, I think most people kind of knew it was going to end up like this anyway. It was just whether we could get something out of it before it all came crashing down, and it hasn't. And honestly, we want someone who wants to be here. And if Conte is at this point doesn't want to be here, then yeah, let's get him the hell out. Like I'm not going to support a guy who
Yeah,
doesn't want to be here.
I am also interested in timing of it all. I think at this point, after the press conference, post match interview, blah blah blah, you kind of have to sack him. You
Yeah,
know, you can't let no one can be above the club, manager, player, board, chairman, any of that. And he made that. I think he made that comment,
yeah,
almost wanting to be sacked
yep.
this international break.
Oh,
I do
wait, you
find.
guys didn't see the post I sent.
Oh no.
He's
Oh,
expected to be sacked in the coming week.
I did see that because I saw Fabrizio Romano tweet about it. So we know it is going to happen. Um, but again, it's just interesting because I don't know. It's a dilemma, right? Because he does have you in the top four race, despite having a rough season, and a pretty tough season where there are a few other teams who are battling for it too. You don't want to keep him to the end of the season if if let's say he doesn't make these comments. Let's say
Oh
we can
yeah,
keep him in the season, then get rid of him because his contract does expire anyway. But
right. If it wasn't this volatile and this toxic, then I would have said yes. Let's finish the end of the season. Because if I'm being completely 100% honest with perspective here, this is actually over the past several years. This is one of our better seasons, and
Worse than
like
last year though.
worse than
Statistically, it is.
how
I
much?
just suppose on that.
Not
More
by much.
losses. More losses and worse goal difference, I think.
Okay.
And yeah, less wins.
Worse than last year, which obviously is in progress. But at the same time, last year was the first top 4 we got in like 4 or 5 years. So, again, still better than when we were under Jose, when we were under Nuno. And probably when we were
Nuno.
in our last.
Everybody
forgot about Nuno.
Oh yeah.
Totally forgot.
That was ass. Nuno was ass. You know what Nuno is now in like Saudi Arabia. Like that's how bad.
He should have stayed with Wolves. What a shame.
He could have.
He had magic with Wolves, and then he just
threw it away.
Yeah, but basically, it's honestly not even horrible. We're in the Champions League spot. Obviously, it's still close, but after those comments, there's no way you can be like, yeah, well, he's staying. No, that's not going to happen. We're going to have to rely on some Mason ball to get us top 4. And then from there, the summer's going to be crazy. A new manager, whether we get Kane to stay. I've actually heard rumors that we're really trying to get Kane to stay.
Sure, yeah.
I don't know if that's going to happen, but when we have Daniel Levy as the guy, you never know what's going to happen. You never know. The dude is insane.
I think for the rest of the season, Tottenham have himself in a decent position. I mean, 1 point behind title contenders Manchester United, who do have 2 games on you, but two
title
points ahead
contenders.
Of
Hold up.
Well, that's what they were saying. Anyways, 2 points above Newcastle, who also have 2 games on you, and then 7 points above the next, so which is Liverpool and Brighton. But pretty decent lead. But I do kind of view this as a statement sacking, if you will. I think it's a necessary one. I think everyone agrees with that. But I think, like, seeing that Tottenham are willing to potentially almost throw away a top 4 finish, depending on what happens, I don't know, throw away a top 4 finish just to say that no one's above the club, or that being Antonio Conte, I think it's pretty big. I kind of like that, if I'm being honest. Ruthless.
I think so too. I just think, look, I have a lot of respect for Conte. We have a lot of good memories.
I love them.
But you can't go off like that. No. You can't go off like that. And the thing is, I was reading this article from Alistair Goad, who's like an incredibly good Tottenham journalist, and he was saying how afterwards he talked to the board and said that he wasn't really talking about them. He was talking about the players. When you look directly at his quotes, the players haven't been there for around 20 years. You know who's been around for 20 years? The board and Daniel Levy. Don't come and trying to like play nice now. Like that is just like own up to it. You're gonna talk shit. But don't then try to backtrack. You know, like that's not it.
I think these are comments you make if you're like a Sir Alex Ferguson at Manchester United. If you're a Pep Guardiola, even if you're like a Jurgen Klopp, you know, you have the pedigree and where someone's actually gonna listen to you. And like you need to have accomplished something with a club. Yeah. To say so you at least know and have seen the deterioration. Conte hasn't done crap. No offense, and that's maybe not entirely his fault, but you can't be making this comment without an end goal in sight, and his end goal being he wants out.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be honest. The 2 things to that actually. The first part is the only manager who could talk is Pochettino, and everybody agrees that we wrongfully sacked him because we didn't back him. And so he said those things as well. You'll go back and see interviews. He wasn't as intense about it, but he said those things. And to your point about Conte, like he had his moments where we thought the football was actually pretty good. And I think with the right players, it could be quite good. That being said, the fact that we've regressed in the way, like you said, that we regressed and are actually in a worse spot than we were last season isn't promising at all. Yeah. And we could have beaten Sheffield United. We don't need the fact that we're still starting Eric Dyer every game is not great. but you could beat Sheffield United with Eric Dyer no matter how crap he chooses to be that day. Like, it's possible to win a game against Sheffield United and keep us in the FA Cup. That was just more of a fact that Conte did not prepare well for that game. I think no matter what, he's gone. Maybe tomorrow, maybe in the 3 days, but I think he's gone. And by the next game, we'll have Ryan Mason as our manager. So we'll see.
Yeah. Who doesn't love a little Ryan Mason?
I love that man. I don't know if you guys know the story behind him at all.
Tell us it.
He played for Tottenham, and then he had this head injury that kept him out and basically retired him early. He retired at like 28, 29. And he was like devastated, depressed, of course, all the emotions you could feel about being forced to retire early.
Naturally.
And not to go too much in detail, but look at him now. Young, up-and-coming guy who wants to get his managing license and is currently an assistant manager at Tottenham. I love that man. I love that man so much, and I do think he'll make us proud, even if he lacks a lot of experience in the big leagues.
He almost beat City in that final, no?
1-0 loss? Just a 1-0 loss? He almost beat one of the greatest managers of all time. I would have been something.
What a story. This could be the next. Will Stills goes on 19-game unbeaten streak at the ripe young age of.
Honestly, I'm calling it right now. Ryan Mason, give it 5-6 years. We might be looking at a club
He'll
legend.
be up there.
I think we might be looking at that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right, let's pivot this then to a little. We'll keep with Tottenham, but is Poch going back? Is that the answer?
Do I think that's the answer? No. Do I think it's going to happen? No. Would I absolutely want it to happen? 100%. Poch will come back at some point. He said it before. He wants to come back and finally finish off what he missed out on when it was a trophy. But I don't think it's going to be the next manager to be him. I've seen too many rumors and too many reports that they're not looking at him yet. It looks more like Luis Enrique, somebody else. There's a list that I was looking at that had.
I'm putting my vote. I'm putting my vote in there for Tottenham, waiting for West Ham to sack David Moyes, and they get David Moyes.
God no, God no, no.
You don't want to play Moyes ball? You don't want to have the Moyes on your team? Are you sure?
The Moyes.
No.
You don't want the Moyes on your team?
I will literally stop supporting Tottenham if we appoint David Moyes.
What's so wrong with David Moyes? He might bring us a European championship. He might do the same to you. Who knows?
He might bring you a championship for sure.
Hey, all I'm saying is if we win, we can say champions of Europe, and we're fine. We're chilling. And then when we play Tottenham, we can be like, well, you know what? Guess what? Sucks to suck.
You can say champions of
No, you can say champions of Europe.
Of Europe.
No, champions of Europe, buddy.
Not even Europa League people say champions of Europe.
Still can say it.
Oh man!
Yeah. Just to say, we've won European trophies, so we are technically, by your logic, we're champions of Europe as well.
Yeah, but not in your lifetime, bud.
That's not.
Meanwhile.
Shut up, Elijah. Shut up. No, let's gang up on Elijah. Shut up, Elijah. Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit?
I graduated right before my graduation.
Okay, I don't care. I genuinely couldn't care less.
Manchester City to win the Champions League final. I nearly cry. I run around my house. Diego was there. Diego was in my house.
I was there. It was not fun. It was not fun. I was praying on your downfall that day, and it did not happen.
I know you were.
What a day. Happen.
What a day. All right. Good Tottenham discussion, Diego. We love that.
Yeah.
We love that.
I don't.
I find it so funny. Like Chelsea, out of the big six, Chelsea have been the worst team this whole time. But the conversation almost every week goes back to either Conte or Tottenham. And the fact that Tottenham are in the top four is almost magnificent.
It really is. It's quite surprising if you think about the talk.
Quite sensational. It's quite sensational.